Hello, and welcome to the North Carolina Museum of History and the 21st Annual African American Cultural Celebration. Our presenter, Chef E. Marshall, will begin in just a moment, but we want to start with a few notes. Remember to ask questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to respond to them and share them with our presenter. Please note that our presenters and off camera crew are masked for the safety of everyone. We thank the following sponsors of the North Carolina Museum of History Foundation for helping to make this event possible. Chef Eric, or Chef E. Marshall, is a self taught chef who rose through the ranks of the culinary world while studying on his own and working in high end restaurants. He is a champion of the Food Network program Chopped, an esteemed private chef, and a culinary entrepreneur. Welcome, Chef E. It already smells delicious in here just from the spices that you brought with
Oh,
you today. So if you could share with us what you're going to be making for us, that'd be amazing.
uh, I am going to make one of my most definitely famous crab cakes. And I think one of the spices that you smell is actually my own seasoning, which is called slapping seafood. Make you want to slap your mama or somebody. But I'm going to be making the crab cakes for you today and just ask questions throughout the whole process. I'm here to answer any questions you have and just tell you about my journey and how I got here. So I'm going to start making these crab cakes and we're going to start. Um, I actually started with some mayo. Can't tell you all the secrets because there's a book coming out that I need you to get. But I do start with mayo as a base. Um, some spicy brown mustard. And to add a little texture, I do a whole grain mustard as well. Now this is going to add like a little burst in your crab cake when you bite into it. And by the way, my crab cakes hardly have any filler whatsoever because who wants filler in crab cakes? Not me. You want that jumbo lump crab meat, and that is what I put. And I do season it generously because us as people of wonderful, beautiful color love flavor. Worcestershire sauce. I'm saving that because I'm also making asparagus as well, and one egg. And we're going to whisk this together generously.
So, Chef E, how did you initially become interested in cooking?
So my family, we always had like family dinners. My father was in the military, so we always traveled. It was always traveling somewhere. And when we always got back home, everyone was around the table or in the kitchen. Everyone's just cooking, enjoying themselves. And I noticed like the kitchen is actually the hub of like the home. Everyone's in there wanting to taste food and enjoy it. And I think that's where it really started for me. But the I really started with hot dogs actually, popping them in the microwave. I was like, oh, I can make my own meal. Because my parents they were busy. My mom she was home, but I was the one that was always sneaking some food. So it really inspired me by watching like my family cook and just everybody eating. My aunt made this wonderful potato bread. It was so good. I was always asking her how she made it. Jumble up crab meat. Put this in there. But that's what inspired me, just knowing that the kitchen was like the hub of everything in the house. And everyone was always in the kitchen trying to get some food, trying to get a taste. Because maybe not everyone, but that was me. I was definitely trying to get the taste of whatever was in there.
Would you say that any of your family members inspired your talent now? Do you use some of, family recipes in your cooking as a base?
I actually do. My cousin Corey, he's passed now, but this is a panko, so there's no other filler in here. But this helps bind everything together. My cousin Corey, he made this like magnificent cornbread. It was so delicious. It was real buttery. It was so moist and just delicious. And I made sure I got that recipe from him. And then of course my mom cooked, my grandmother, my grandfather had a farm. We were the kids that would be outside just playing. We thought we were playing, but my grandmother would cut the heads off the chicken, and we have to go find the body. So we're like everywhere trying to grab the body. I got one. I got one. So yeah, my family definitely did it. And my grandfather raised pigs, so we had like always having pigs out there and eating it. And yes, I did used to eat chitlins. That's what we did. But yeah, I was always inspired, and I always try to gather more and more recipes that I can from the family because I don't want it to get lost in the sauce somewhere.
Mhm. That's such a part of a family story too, is those recipes.
Oh yeah, because having it passed on from generation to generation, and just like me, I modify a lot of dishes because I'm like a creative when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. I call the kitchen my lab. So I'm always in the kitchen trying different things and just modifying, like even like simple dishes. Turn a little bit of flame on now. But yeah, I love what I do. And before I became a chef, I was um I was actually a systems engineer. And everyone always asks, like, why would you stop being an engineer to become a chef? And that's because cooking is my passion. It's what really got me through the day, like almost every day. Even when I was sitting behind the desk, messing with servers and all that stuff. Cooking is what actually was on my mind. Not always eating, not like a fat dude, but just cooking, like pleasing the palate. That's why I use palate pleaser as one of my hashtags or whatever, because I want to please the palate. I want to be creative. I want people to try dishes they never ever tried before. So it definitely made me like pivot in my career, which brought me to Chopped.
Mhm.
But
Can
now
you
that Chopped, we're always watching the show Chopped, right? And we're like, oh man, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Let me tell you, this show, it actually not scripted whatsoever. You only have this set amount of time to really get everything done. There's no pauses, no breaks. You have your pantry items, you have everything that's in that mystery basket. You don't know what's in there whatsoever, but you're in there and you have to really get in there. And one of my issues was I didn't really do desserts until the pandemic came around. I started making cannabis cookies. No, you can tell anybody you want, really. But and that's one of the things that actually helped me win the show because I was like, I'm gonna make some cookies. And if you watched it, I made ice cream as well. And that was my first time ever making ice cream. I was very ambitious, but I was like, I'm about to win this thing. But yeah, it was an amazing thing. I stayed calm like most of the time, but you can try to study and try to get everything done as much as possible, but you never know what's going to be in these baskets. So you just have to go and try to think of what your base is. But winning Chopped was like an amazing, amazing thing in my life. So I thank God for Food Network and thank God for the skills God gave me because I never went to culinary school. I'm self-taught. So like even with being an engineer, self-taught, one of the things I believe is you can do whatever you want in life because there's enough information out there for it to happen. So you gotta turn this burner down too. But there's enough stuff in life to make any of your dreams come true. So I definitely say just try everything you want in life and make it happen.
On
Right, a little
those,
smoke.
in that same vein, when you're talking about your experience on Chopped, can you talk a little bit about your journey and how you got there as a chef? How did you, switch from being an engineer into that cooking world and getting, cast on the show?
Oh yeah. Like I was saying, cooking was always like my passion. It was something that I always wanted to do, and I felt like it was time for me to just pivot and be like, you know what? I need to go for what I love, which is cooking. So realistically, I like just expounded on the dishes that I already knew how to make, right? And just try new dishes everywhere. I might see something on TV or go to a restaurant. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give that a try. I go home, go into my lab, which is the kitchen, and try to make things happen. So it really inspired me to make more and more dishes. And family helped me out. And I moved to LA. One of my friends, he was a chef out there. I'm about to get my hands dirty now. One of my friends, he was a chef out there, and he had a lot of private clients. So I was like, you know what? I can cook. So I'm gonna cook for him and his wife. And I already thought I was like the bee's knees at cooking. I was a very confident individual. But he tasted the food and he said, it is okay. I was like, all right. So I took everything with a grain of salt. Oh yeah. Took it with a grain of salt and actually asked for help. I was like, well, can you teach me how to make these how to cook. So he had me in the kitchen, peeling potatoes, going out with different gigs with him. And I just learned because I was out there in LA trying to be an actor, doing comedy, but cooking was like the main thing that I loved to do and what I wanted to do with my life. So that's gonna be so good. That's
Yeah.
gonna be so good.
That looks and smells amazing, y'all.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just me being persistent and you know not having a big head or have too much pride to ask for help or wanting to do what I want to do, which was cooking. So I enjoyed every step of the way with cooking.
For some of the folks who just came into your live demo, can you again tell us what you're making for us?
Oh yeah, I'm making some Chef E. Marshall crab cakes with the Chef E. Marshall slapping seasoning and some sautéed asparagus. I seasoned it with salt and pepper, the asparagus, put a little water in there so it can kind of steam. And then I actually going to put the Worcestershire sauce in there. It adds a little bit, another element to it. It's going to add a little bit more salt flavor to it. I'm putting some garlic powder and onion powder. Crab cakes are over here doing this thing. I'm over here doing my thing because we make it do what it do. And this is going to be nothing but this immaculate flavor. And the crab cakes are not going to take too long to cook, actually. So this is going to be like a quick, easy, simple dish, yet tasteful and oh, ooh, like you know how you do in church, be like, oh, because it's going to be slapping. But yes,
You know the food's gonna be good when you start dancing.
oh yeah. Everybody has their like little happy dance when it comes to food. And I like to get like a little crust on each side. Oh, because it gives that texture. It's gonna be like nice and soft in the middle, and then you get that nice texture and crunch on the outside. Ooh, I get happy when I cook, y'all. I do. Because it's my element.
Do you have favorite dishes that you like to cook or favorite styles of food that you like to cook?
Um, so since I'm self-taught, I just really tried like everything that I could. Um, and when I did work in restaurants, because I did work in restaurants because nobody knows everything. See, with the asparagus, you want like a little bend to it. I like mine to have like a small bend because you still have that texture and the crunch. So these are actually done. And the smell is so good.
It smells amazing.
Oh my God. See, now I forgot the question. What was that question again?
Oh, I was distracted by the food smell as well. I was asking you if you like, if you have a specific type of food or style of food that you like to cook.
Um, I do like a lot of French dishes, but I kind of pulled back because there's a lot of butter that's in there. But my style that I usually say that I'm going for now is just flavor, really, because that's what it's all about to me. Getting the burst of flavor and just not putting salt, pepper in there, but like going, like channeling your ancestors and see what they would put in there. I like a lot of real raw ingredients. I do use like the powders, but normally it's going to be like chopped onion or chopped garlic, just like real herbs that'll go inside a lot of my dishes. So flavor is really what I put my genre into for my food. I'm just making sure this is just getting cooked all the way around because there is egg in there, so we want that to cook through as well. But like even with my journey with cooking, like anything in life, I tell people to really follow their passion, what they really want to do in life, and don't let anyone deviate because people were like, "Oh, you're going to leave being an engineer to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do." And I was in a relationship at the time, and she didn't really support me with it as well. I was like, "Oh, all right." I mean, I want chopped, and now people trying to hit me up, but it's all good. But just follow your passion and follow your dream seriously, because and even if you have to do it in silence, because sometimes when you're telling people what you're doing, they're gonna hate on you, or they're gonna be like, "Nah, I wouldn't do that." Blah blah blah. Of course you wouldn't. You're doing what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you know what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy, what your passion is, you go for it. Don't let anything stop you. I have tattoos, and this is something I say all the time. It says, "Make it happen," and that's what I do. I make it happen because I believe in what I do, and I know I can do it. I study it, and then I go for it. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. The color on this baby.
I wish we had smell-o-vision for y'all in the live audience
Oh
because
my
it smells
goodness.
amazing in this classroom we're in.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this out and let it rest, and then I'm gonna finish plating it. But yeah, I would say no matter what you're doing in life, if you have a dream, please, please, please go for it. Don't let anything or anybody stop you. There's gonna be hurdles, there's gonna be obstacles in your path. Just keep going and don't deviate from what you're trying to do. Sometimes you're gonna have to take a step back and like regroup if the plan's not going the way you want. And it's okay to get a mentor. It's good, okay to study, or just be like, all right, I'm gonna pause. But don't stop and give up. Just always keep going, and don't let anybody like take your dream away from you or what you want to do with your life. Oh my
So
goodness.
some folks want this crab cake recipe, and you mentioned that a cookbook is in the works. So can you tell us more about that project?
Oh yes. So I actually have two cookbooks coming out. Hopefully they'll be out by my birthday, which is 420. If you know, you know. Donovan was supposed to tell us about that day. But yeah, I have two cookbooks coming out. I actually post some recipes on my page. Like I just did a crab stuffed loaded potato. Oh my gosh. Go to my Instagram, check that out, chef_E Marshall. But the cookbook is going to come out. Just keep following me, or if you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me because I want to share my recipes with everybody. I want to make money in my sleep, and the cookbook is a good way to do it. But I just want to share my knowledge, and you can grasp anything from this book because it's going to be full of recipes that I've come up with or just modified. And then I have a kids cookbook coming out because I used to have a kids cooking show, and it's going to help the kids in the kitchen to have fun with you, and they're going to have fun themselves in the kitchen because that's one thing that I do love is kids and their energy. But yeah, the cookbook's coming out, and my seasoning is here, and my knives. I'm just trying to get it all out there because the world is culinary for me. So yeah.
So can they buy your knives and your seasoning? Can they get that through your Instagram page as well?
Oh, it's definitely on my website. So if you go to my website, it will actually direct you. Well, if you go to my Instagram, it'll direct you to my website. But you can get the knives, you can get the seasonings, and you're gonna get more recipes on there too. So you can just start doing what you do and just showing off your crab cakes and however you make it or whatever you want to do. But I just want everybody to feel my passion. I want to share what I have because there's a lot of people that try to keep it all in, but no, I don't want to. I want you to have it.
Can you shout out your website right now?
Oh yes, it is www.chefemarshall.com,
And so
which is my name.
what is the name of your seasoning and what is it good on?
Oh, so this is slap and seasoning, and this one is mainly for like seafood. So you can put it on, use on your crab boils, crab cakes, lobster tails, shrimp. Actually, you can even spice your grains with it because I put it in my rice too, and I use it for when I'm making shrimp and grits. So my cream sauce, it has a lot of my spice in there too. But I wanted everyone to have like a go-to for a spice that you can just put on something and then eat it and then slap somebody. That's how good it is.
Can you repeat your Instagram handle one more time so I can type it in the chat for folks who are asking?
Oh yeah. Instagram is chef underscore E Marshall, which is Eric Marshall. So go ahead and click it, follow it, like the food, and just actually come with me on my journey because I actually go back and forth to Alaska. I'm going in about February 6th to finish up a show that I'm filming out there. So I actually forage and I'm about to do some ice fishing, a little bit of hunting, ice carving, dog mushing because I want to be I want to show that us as black people can go out there and do anything, even in the cold. Yes, even in the cold, but we go out there and do everything. And usually when I'm hunting or foraging, I actually go cook it right on the spot. Like the last time I was out there, I went salmon fishing, got it, just cooked it, put some of the slapping on there, and just right there. And I even hunting like some birds, right there out in the elements. I want everyone to know that oh, and it's to highlight Black history wherever I go. Believe it or not, there is Black history in Alaska. So when the show comes out, definitely take a look at it. Hopefully, it'll be out towards August. But you can do whatever you want in life. That's my main point. I try to drive and get across to everyone. Don't let anyone stop you. Just keep going. All this in your ear, just let it go. Fulfill your dreams.
How would you say that winning Chopped impacted your life and your career?
Oh, it impacted it like tremendously. I got so many offers for restaurants, books, shows, but um, and I had a friend that won Chopped already before, and all this happened to him. And he's like, just be careful of the opportunities that try to come around because everyone's going to try to use you for your name and all that. So I really just stayed in my bubble and chose what I want to do. I'm a private chef, so I travel around to different clients and just cook for them. I do love restaurants, but I like having that one-on-one with clients sometimes because they're in the kitchen with me and we're just talking and it turns into like cooking lessons. But it changed my life a whole lot actually. It got a lot busier. I'm an entrepreneur, so going from a 9 to 5, now you're working 24/7 and you have multiple jobs. So it's tiring. It's not an easy thing to be an entrepreneur all the time, but you have to just stick to it if that's what you want to do. For not working for the man, but work for yourself. But it's hard. It can be hard on family, it can be hard on relationships, but you have to try to find that balance.
What advice would you offer to someone who wants to become a chef and maybe go the route of doing, being a private chef or
Hmm.
the same sort of career path that you've chosen?
I would say definitely research it. Um, First of all, do it for the love of what you have for cooking. Don't do it for other people. Make sure you love it and it's what you want to do with your life. Talk to other chefs, work at other restaurants, because you don't know everything in the culinary world. I definitely don't. So I still work at restaurants from time to time just so I can learn different techniques, just work with different items. Because I never worked with octopus before, just at home. I had to go to restaurants to do that. And sous vide, learn all the terms that you need to learn, even if it's another language. But I would say just talk to people, study, be in your kitchen at home, lab. Like what I did, I invited friends over to eat. They were like, "Oh man, this is good." They were like my little guinea pigs, but they got free food, and I got to learn everyone's palates because everyone's palate is not the same. Learn dietary restrictions, allergies, all that. It's not simple because it's a science to all of this. Because one wrong thing, you can send somebody to the hospital if they're allergic to something. So you really have to learn all the elements of cooking, temperatures, everything. So just study everything you need to know. Bacteria travels fast if it's not at the right temperature. So yeah, it's a lot. But if you want it, you're gonna get it.
You have a lot of inquiries to your books that are coming out, and people are wanting to know if either one of them has a pending title.
It does, but you have to wait.
Okay.
Yes. And when you read the book, I would say the adult book is like food porn. It's gonna hit all the elements, and that's what you want actually. So follow me. You'll get the information.
With that being said, you mentioned that you tend to cook more than make desserts and things like that. Do you
Mhm.
have some dessert recipes in your books, or are you playing around with desserts a little bit more?
I'm playing around with desserts. I bought a book for my desserts. Like I said, I don't know everything, so I am playing around with desserts more in my book. Mine is more um, just actually cooking on the stove, baking food like in the oven type. But desserts, I'm gonna get into gradually. It's not my strong suit, so I know where my weaknesses are, and I know how to work on it. But desserts will be there. There'll be a dessert cookbook eventually because I don't know everything, but I'm gonna start knowing a lot.
Well, the attitude that you have is inspiring and super motivational.
Oh yeah,
So I love the message that you're sharing with everyone.
thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like people to take away from your presentation today, or anything else you'd like to share with us?
Mm. The main thing is just make it happen. Um, don't let anybody stifle what you got going on. Learn about your craft, no matter what your craft is. Just learn and study. Make sure you're not taken advantage of. Make sure you learn all the laws of it, how to start your business, get a mentor if need be. You can talk to everyone, but take away what you need from it. But everything that you want is inside yourself, right? So I'm a big manifester of things. So I manifest, I speak it into existence. But the most important part is actually putting in the work. You can manifest stuff all day or want it, but if you don't put in the work, it means nothing. And just get out there and talk to people. Don't be afraid. Oh, don't be afraid of anyone saying no to you, because I had so many doors shut. But there's going to be someone that says yes, and then it's going to propel your career. So do not be afraid of no's, and do not have too much pride. I had a lot of pride in my life before. It's gone. I ended up being homeless before, so I lost the pride that I had. And this was in LA. So you can come back from anything. So do it. Make it happen. Go. All those motivational things to drive you. Take a break, take a nap, go for it. Oh, and please take out time for yourself. Do not run yourself into the ground. I did it. Uh, it's not fun, but you know, you got to make it happen, but just pace yourself with it. That is what I would say. Learn from other people. You don't have to do all the hard work. A lot of people have done it before. Nothing is new. But yes, make it happen. That's what I want to tell you.
Thank you so much. And before we end this session, I just want you again one more time because people are so interested to again shout out your Instagram handle and your website so that people can follow you and see how they can experience and know more about you and see what you're up to.
Okay. My website is www.chefemarshall.com. My Instagram is chef_emarshall. But if you go to my website, it'll have all the links there. You'll see anything that's upcoming. Like I even do like vegan pop-up dinners. You're gonna see all that's happening. So just go in there, follow me, ask questions, do what you want with this information. I'm usually open and have access. I do travel a lot, but usually when someone hits me up or inquire, I do respond.
Thank you so much for being with us here today, Chef E. Marshall. You've been excellent. And if y'all have been listening in throughout the day, he's also been hosting in this series of the program. So you can catch him again hosting for the next program that we have going on.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Be sure to watch some live performances taking place throughout the day, screening on our website, nc-aacc.com. Thank you again for joining us for the 21st Annual African American Cultural Celebration, which continues today until 5 p.m.